signs from your guides. September 30, 2014. You have an enormous opportunity to contribute to a wealth of positive and progressive changes to the defunct manner in which your planet functions, but to successfully utilize any opportunity, you have to be willing to pursue it with passion. Pursuing the restoration of your planet will require many of you to put yourselves in as positive, uplifted and loving of a space as you can in every moment, and the more you practice feeling the upliftment you desire, the easier you'll be able to call it forth at any given time. Upliftment is missing from the minds and hearts of most of humanity and even many seekers, and to reclaim it, all you need to do is request it, re-enter your space, and enjoy the good vibration that results. You may have to attune to this vibration to feel it in any sort of purity, but the attunement will be as easy as you allow it to be. As long as you can let yourselves see that you truly have no more reason to stress or be in fear or apprehension of the future, everything you do in this moment of now will flow with grace and ease, and you'll eventually find that your sense of love and wholeness was restored tenfold. In a lot of cases, a positive attitude really is all that's required to enjoy yourselves and your existence. Upliftment can be simple. We note that many of you have certain methods or practices you use to find a higher vibration or generally enjoy your existence, and while there's certainly nothing wrong with this, we want you to know that finding and remaining in a lasting uplifted space can be very simple if you allow it to be. We note that it's much easier at times to give in to the low and depleted emotions that present themselves to you, but from our perspective, it's far more rewarding to open your minds and hearts to the love Source has for you and flow from there, experiencing divine synchronicity after divine synchronicity as your vibration steadily yet surely rises. Your vibration is becoming as potent as your growing perception, and you're each being led to make the inner and outer changes that are necessary for you to find the higher state of consciousness you'll eventually help the rest of your planet find. You're creating and contributing to a wealth of positive changes that we in the higher realms seek to do everything we can to help you with, and sometimes, taking stock of your lives and all of the miraculous things you've been able to do so far will help you retreat from the negative emotions that strive to bring you down and fill your perception with grief, pain, fear, and every quality under the sun that keeps you from discovering and acting on your true potential. You have the potential to completely change your planet, but in order to do so, you have to be willing to look within and see what inner changes need made before you and the rest of your planet can enjoy a glimmering, utopian society that operates in the best interests of every citizen. Governmental transformations are on the horizon, and when they eventually come into effect, they'll mirror the inner changes the conscious community will have made by that point. By the time your governments as you see them now are completely overhauled, the conscious community will have grown to include almost all of humanity, and you'll all be awake, aware, and willing to do what's asked of you to enter the light and build a new society. Everyone will contribute to the changes that need made to your planet, and when your collective vibration reaches a certain purity, you'll be given the direct, widespread assistance of the company of heaven, who'll be on your planet to help you create all of the changes that need created. You have a lot to learn about yourselves, your existence, and the existence of various higher dimensional souls from various realms who seek to help you along your difficult ascension paths, and we send you frequent messages in your external reality to display that we're with you. You simply have to open up and attune to them. We're sending all of our sparks on earth a bounty of signs to display our presence with and around them, and with this said, we'll answer the question we've been given on this day. Question. The number 43. I would like to know the significance of the number 43 which has been occurring in my life on a frequent basis for the last few years. Thank you so very much. You, dear reader, are being led to see that your guides are all around you. This is partially why we mentioned the signs we're giving each receptive seeker before answering this question, and the plan is for you to become aware of the direct assistance you're being given, and attune to the voices of your guides so they can begin to speak with you directly. The numbers 3 and 4, especially when used in a synchronistic fashion, are intended to convey that your guides and angels are with you and desire to communicate with you more directly. The reason you've been seeing the number 43 so often is because your guides are clamoring to get your attention so they can help you uncover a wealth of personal revelations and revelations related to the world around you, that'll eventually enable you to contribute something very unique to your planet's restoration. Just what this something is, we'll have to let you find out for yourself, but making a tried and true effort to connect with your guides will help you discover exactly what you're meant to do to help humanity become aware and, again, contribute to your planetary restoration. As we have with other readers in the past, we'll recommend you make a conscious, continuous effort to open up to your guides and perhaps even channel them if the idea resonates with you. You can channel private messages from them that are relevant to your personal path, and if when you do decide to open up and communicate with them, we recommend keeping any questions you may have for them strictly personal at first and waiting to ask more general questions about the world around you. Your guides have something very personal and unique to communicate to you, dearest reader, and this is one of many reasons we encourage you to open up to their advice and guidance within and ask explicitly personal questions related to the role you're meant to play in humanity's ascension. You and a plethora of other readers have yet to see just how pure and potent the role you'll play in your ascension will be, and connecting with your higher self and guides is the first step to realizing and acting on your mission, your reason for being on the earth at this time. After so long of privately communicating with your guides, you can allow your communication to become public if the idea resonates with you. Should you decide to do so, you'd be joining a growing league of skilled and experienced channels who routinely communicate with the higher realms on behalf of all of humanity and especially the conscious community, who currently absorbs and appreciates our messages far more than the rest of humanity. The rest of humanity will open up to the idea that the act of channeling and spirit communication in general can be real in due time, and should you decide to, you can be one of many pioneers who present this practice to the world. Again, we'd only recommend opening up to such a thing after connecting with your guides and receiving the specific, personal advice you're meant to receive, and we know that the number 43 has become very personal to you because of how much you've seen it and felt its accompanying energy signature. You'll continue to be presented with this number, as well as other numeric synchronicities involving the numbers 1 and 2, until you make a conscious decision to open up to your guides and receive the advice they have to offer you. To connect with your guides, we recommend finding a good, pure meditative state of consciousness, and clearly asking in your mind for a connection to be made. If you feel like you can, attempt to affirm this connection in your sacred heart space, because this is where nearly all spirit communication comes from. All of the chakras play important roles in helping an individual connect with their higher self and guides, but the heart chakra is the primary receiver of the energy and inspiration you receive to connect. Your guides' information and energy are funneled through your opening and expanding heart, and the mind, when open, acts as an interpreter of the energy the heart provides. Connecting with the heart and affirming with the mind. If you can feel a connection with your guides in your heart, and we recommend keeping in mind that this connection's much easier to attain than most seekers realize, you'll be able to affirm it in your mind. With a great deal of practice, you'll be able to communicate and receive the personal guidance you're meant to receive. As long as you can feel the presence of your guides in your brimming heart space, everything else will flow easily. You may inevitably meet some roadblocks along the way in terms of your ability to maintain a clear connection for a sustained period of time, but the difficulties and challenges aren't intended to take away your confidence or convince you that connecting with your guides isn't right for you. The same can be said for any practice or ability. You're going to meet difficulties and roadblocks along the way, and they aren't necessarily meant to deter you. Instead, they are meant to motivate you to excel despite any adversity you meet. Allow yourself to soar in the face of any roadblocks or seeming inabilities that present themselves to you, and know that connecting with your guides personally or privately depending on your preference is absolutely in your cards. If it weren't, you wouldn't continue to receive the number 43. Like we said above, you will continue to receive this number and sequences that are related to it until you find the readiness and willingness in yourself to maintain a clear and lasting higher dimensional connection. Your guides are very excited for you to connect with them in a purer way than you've been able to so far, and even if you don't ultimately attempt to make such a connection, know that they're constantly with you and constantly seeking to assist you along your difficult but necessary earthly experience. We know you enjoy retreating out to nature, and we wholeheartedly recommend you connect with your guides during one of your hikes or any sojourn out to nature that you enjoy embarking on. It can actually be easier to connect with your guides in the isolated setting nature provides than in your home, because a lot of pent-up collective energy exists around every seeker's home that can often be difficult to penetrate. Allow yourself to penetrate this barrier by using nature's isolation to make a real and pure connection. If you wanted, you could perhaps take a pen and a notebook out to nature with you, and attempt to connect with your guides via automatic writing and see what they write through your pen. Or, you can retreat into nature absent of any sort of tool to help you channel and simply connect with them, receiving their flowing advice and guidance without transcribing it onto paper. Either way, we unflinchingly recommend you attempt to make the connection you have the potential to make, and we also recommend you see that you'll be given a wealth of assistance with making it. Not only your higher self and guides, but the higher selves and guides of various seekers around you, will help you make this connection in a stronger way than you've been able to so far. I, the higher self of the scribe channeling this, will do everything I can to help you connect with your higher self and guides, who are colleagues of mine, and similarly, the higher selves and guides of your friends and family will strive to help you connect as well. This is because from our perspective, your connection with your guides is very important, and we'll always seek to do whatever we can to help any seeker open up to the sacred and pure connection they can make with their guides. We'll make our final expressions for this communication with appreciation for the noble efforts of every seeker who's starting to connect with their guides and, in some cases, channel long and flowing communications from them for the benefit of the conscious public. Your missions will strengthen from here on out, which we've said plenty of times, and as long as you're willing to do everything you can to strengthen them, you'll eventually do far more work than you would have ever thought or expected. The great thing about it is that it won't drag on your spirits or your sense of enjoyment. You'll enjoy it more than most of you enjoy your current jobs. Your work to bring yourselves and the planet around you into the light will feel better than any work you've done so far, and those among you who are pioneering the spiritual work that's helping you raise your individual and collective vibration can affirm that they feel an immense sense of wholeness, enjoyment, and bliss as they do their work. This work is sacred and meant to be embraced wholeheartedly, and will encourage every seeker out there who's ready to step up their game, so to speak, to do just that. Ask yourselves what you can do to contribute to the ongoing restoration of consciousness, and find it in yourselves to embrace your missions when you could otherwise embrace finite things that keep you from acting on your true potential. Your potential's becoming increasingly evident, but you're the only ones who can act on it and produce flowing spiritual work that uplifts everyone around you. The choice is yours, and by this point, we think we know what most of you will choose. Thank you to my higher self and spiritual guides. Channeled through Wes Anak. cultureofawareness.com